Hey everybody, I'm Marlon with Chronic Pain Warriors United. Hope y'all are having a great Thursday. It's a beautiful sunny Thursday here in Birmingham. So hope you're enjoying your day as well as much as possible. Right off the front, before we get into today's video, a little bit of housekeeping. I've got some new Chronic Pain Warriors United pins coming in. So when they do, I'll start sending those out to those of you who've asked for them. And hopefully we'll get more people sporting those, and word of mouth really helps spread the word for reform, right? And then also hit those like buttons at the end of the video or whenever you can. It seems to be one of the only ways to get the algorithm to really spread the video to the people that need it. So I'd appreciate it. I made a short a couple of days ago called "Our Pain Management System is Broken." And it is in the fact that it does not serve the people who need it in the way that we need it to, right? The people who deal with medium to high levels of high impact chronic pain find it very hard to get treatment in this system. And even when we do jump through all the hoops and find a doctor that's willing to treat our pain on a long-term level, often it's nowhere near at the level we need to be treated at. Our pain is severely undertreated much of the time. It's really an epidemic. I mean, people's pain is either undertreated for the most part or ignored. And there doesn't seem to be I don't know anybody really who's like, yes, I'm happy with my level of pain management. I just don't. Most people are just happy to have anything at all. That's how bad the system's gotten, right? So is it actually broken? In that way, yes. In the other way, no. It is actually working exactly like the DEA and the federal government and the states who've passed onerous laws on their pain management system want it to. They want it to be hard for you to access pain management. They want to prevent as many people as possible from using and accessing the system. Also, they've done a lot of work around pain management to vilify it, right? Anything to do with pain management, narcotics, or anything else, they have done a really good job of linking with like addiction and death. That's been their thing for years now. Another thing that they've done is what's called chilling the room with doctors. They can show up at a doctor's office, audit their scripts, decide they don't like what they're doing, suspend their license to prescribe medications and narcotics, which basically, prevents them from practicing medicine. And they can also suspend their license to practice a lot of times without any hearing whatsoever. They just show up, audit their stuff, they don't like what they see, they come back, and next thing these doctors know, they're carrying all their patients' information out in boxes with the doctor behind them handcuffed. There's been a lot of videos like that. They spread them all over the place. They do the perp walks, and all of that was to give a message to the doctors. And it has really, really worked. There are not many doctors out there who are willing to take what I call the risk and potential cost to them to treat their patient's pain. Because what I just talked about, the DEA showing up, auditing their prescriptions and whatever comes next, is a doctor's worst nightmare in a lot of ways. And so they're just not willing to put their license and practice on the line for their patients in that regard. They're just not. And say what you want about how we're taught to idolize the medical profession and look up to doctors and everything, and how TV shows make doctors look like these idealistic people who would do the job if they never got paid for it, and they had these morals and all that, and it's just not the case anymore. That's like an old school character of a doctor, and it's just not true nowadays, unfortunately. They demonize everyone and everything around the traditional pain management system and the medications themselves. Traditional pain medications have been demonized by the DEA and the federal government now constantly for well over 10 years. They have pushed that message out into the public and the media constantly. And that's filtered through to the doctors and schools and everything else too. And it is some of the grossest, most negligent lies about people and the pain management system have been told. They want to make it about addiction and death. That's all that the traditional pain management system is to them. And that's all that traditional pain medications are to them. And basically anyone who is using traditional pain medications or the pain management system is a potential addict, a potential criminal, and a potential suspect. And we're treated like it too, as I've said in other videos. From the time you walk through your doctor's front door and they sit you down and have you sign a pain contract and tell you all the ways that you could fuck up and how they could instantly burn the quality of your life down by removing your right to pain medications and pain relief. And that's literally as soon as you come from the door, they set the tone that way. We're treated like suspects, we're treated like criminals, and we're treated like addicts. And that's because the DEA and the government want it that way. So they have done that word association for so long now that it's like embedded into the public consciousness mind. Bring up opiates with anybody and they'll think fentanyl, addiction, and death. They just will. And that's one thing that I really want to work to change. It's why I call them traditional pain medications, because they are. We've used them for thousands of years, safely and effectively. There was a commenter who said something that I really, it's just like, duh. How is my doctor undertreating my pain, aka not giving me as much pain medication as I need to live, just because the DEA, CDC, and federal government says you shouldn't be prescribing X amount of this or more? It's so arbitrary. How is my doctor undertreating my pain going to help stop the ocean of fentanyl crossing our borders, right? From both the Gulf and the Pacific, it is coming. I mean, from China and Mexico. The fentanyl flood has come all the way across America, everywhere. You can find it. And it is never going back in the bottle, by the way. The DEA and the federal government, starting in 2016 with the passage of with the passage of CARA, and every action they have taken since then, has caused the fentanyl flood that's come across America. And as far as I'm concerned, you can lay pretty much every single death from fentanyl at their feet. I mean, if they had not done anything at all and left everything exactly as it was, there'd be a lot of people alive today that are dead now. That's just a fact. But yeah, we have this fentanyl flood coming from everywhere. How is my doctor shorting me on what I need to live every month with my pain medications going to help with that problem? It's not. It's absolutely asinine. And the fact that they persist in this is really what drives me crazy. Not only are they persisting, as far as I can tell, The war on pain patients is going to get ramped up to a whole nother level in 2025. And, you know, the Republicans and Trump have made a big deal about the opioid crisis from the very beginning. So we've got to start, we've really got to fight for reform and start correcting a lot of these lies. All this, and they do all of this, and they've also pushed the same type of narrative into the medical schools so that new doctors who are coming out have this view of treating pain and pain medications in general that is just so absolutely unscientific, non-medically sound, and just wrong. I mean, it's like you want them to relieve your pain, and they look at you like you're wanting them to cut off their own arm. I've dealt with a few of these younger doctors here in the last year or so who've come out of the medical school system now, and their views on pain and pain management and traditional pain medications are scary as shit, really. And then the last point, and that shouldn't have to be said, especially in the United States of America, all of this power that is being held over us, nobody, no person should have the power that these people are holding over us that they do. Like, no, they should not have this power against us. They should not have this power over us. No human being has the right to tell another human being that their pain is not worthy of treatment. No human being has the right to tell another human being, I do not believe your condition warrants pain relief. You are not worthy of pain relief, and you must live your life in pain. That is what's happening on a mass level to millions of people all over the country, and then also really all over the world. I mean, Europe, several countries in Europe are absolutely nutty when it comes to their pain management. So all of this has been done, like I said, in order to make it as hard as possible for you to access the system. But this system is holding a power over us that it never should have been given, and they shouldn't have. And when I say nobody should have this power, I mean doctors, cops, politicians, presidents. I don't care. Nobody should have the power to tell another person that they have to live their life in pain. End of story. Our founding fathers had chronic pain, and they managed it how they wanted to. Having someone tell them that they couldn't do so would have been a cause for fight and war. Anyways, all of y'all, let me know your let me know your stories. Let me know how this is affecting you. Let me know how you feel about the current pain management system. Like I say at the end of every video, your stories, like you, are unique and special, and they are how we're going to show people what has been happening to their fellow compatriots all over the country for years. I do believe that when we show enough people what is happening, and if we can educate the right people to what is happening, reform is ours for the taking. All it takes is for enough of us to unite together and make our voices loud enough. The American people still recognize a wrong when it's being done, and the vast majority don't even know this is happening, even though almost everybody has someone in their family or extended family it's happening to. Everybody's just sort of complaining amongst themselves in the wilderness. So if we unite that voice, even a small percentage of the 20 million of us suffering from high-impact chronic pain, we will have a voice far too loud to be ignored. So leave your comments, tell us how you feel about the whole thing and your experiences with the system. They're important, just like you. I'm Marlon with Chronic Pain Warriors United. I hope y'all are well and stay blessed. We'll be back with y'all real soon. Cheers.